And welcome to the 29th episode of the new podcast. My name is Steven, joined as always by producer and co-host extraordinaire Kelly. And my man is back in the saddle again, joined again by Morgan. We have one hell of a Wrestlemania show to talk about today. Wrestlemania going down last night. We had no UFC this weekend, but we had some bare knuckle fighting championship, and also some Fight Nights Global 92 to talk about here. Tons of news this week to get to. Let's get to it. Welcome back, Morgan. Welcome back. Good to have you. Good to have you helping out, especially with all the wrestling talk we're gonna go through this week. Lots of shit to get to. Yeah, you're welcome, buddy. Yeah, lots of shit to get to. And joined by Kelly, as always. We had a good time last time, man. Many waters had on this weekend. Let's get to some news. Start off light and we'll end heavy on this one. So stay tuned and keep up. Satoshi Ishii of Inoki Championship fighting over in Japan has signed with PFL, and that's what happens when you have that $1 million prize dangling in front of people's face at the end of the day. People are going to come. I don't know if he's going to do very good, especially for a dude who's at 205 and potentially heavyweight, but he's going to make waves, and I think it's a good opportunity for Satoshi Ishii to make some money and to actually go deep in this tournament. I think he will be at 205, but him signing with PFL, I can guarantee he's going to move over to Bellator as well, and we're going to see more of him there as well, and more on the American state side. If he can get a good camp over here, maybe get with the Team Quest guys, something like that, a good gritty camp. I think the sky's the limit when it comes to this guy. One thing that was quite odd about failing piss tests this week. Did you guys hear about this one? Kelly, Morgan, did you hear about Ruslan Magomed? First person ever lifetime ban from USADA.
What the hell did he test for?
He's just failed 3 times. Well, he failed 2 times. The first time he failed was just for a few things. Second time he failed, it was like the list was super long. The list was like 3 paragraphs of all the shit he failed for. Third time was because he refused to take the test. So
if you can't win the belt, you can't fail 3 times.
Exactly.
Not doing it.
Exactly. First dude, lifetime ban. And surprise, he's Russian. You don't say. A Russian failing a piss test for sports. That's never happened before. Well, those Russians. Well, das vidanya, comrade. I hope you like fighting for M1 and Fight Nights Global. Maybe Japan will take you. Maybe, but...
USADA is colluding with the U.S. fighters.
Ooh. It's a whole liberal Republican thing. It's getting political in the UFC.
Oh, snap.
Speaking of Russians who failed their piss test, one dude, he was going to headline the St. Petersburg card against Alistair Overeem. Alexander Volkov failed his piss test. Alexander Volkov off the card altogether. They haven't officially announced it, but he is off the card due to an irregular test, and his name isn't John Jones, so he can't fight. So that's what happens.
If this keeps up, USADA is just gonna ban every Russian like the Olympics did last time.
Yeah, I could see. I could see that. I hope it wouldn't get to that state. You know what I mean? But where there's smoke, there's fire, and over in the Russian piss tests, there's a fucking bonfire going over there. I don't know what do you think, Kelly? You know what I mean? Is it just in their blood? Is it just something ingrained in them to, if you aren't cheating, you aren't trying to win? What do you think? Why all these guys are failing their piss test?
Maybe it's in the water.
Hey-oh!
I think the gyms are probably encouraging, to take these supplements, let's call them. But I think they also just should start their own league. Fuck it. Screw
Yeah.
the UFC. Just fight over in Russia, man. On steroids. Let's see it.
I agree. Yeah, no, I like that. I said that a bunch of shows ago, like a long time ago. Just open it up.
It should be called MMA in Soviet Russia.
MMA USSR. No, that's what I'm saying. Just get rid of all testing. If these people want to shorten their lifespan by winning a few fights, fucking so be it. I don't give a shit. I don't want to be a fighter, and you know what I mean. At a certain level, you know what I mean. They're gonna have a certain echelon, like one organization that's free range. Do whatever the hell you want to do. Have at it. I think Russia's the perfect place for it. The birthplace of doping.
What are the regulations in bare knuckle fighting? Does it have strict drug testing? Or?
I highly doubt it does.
Yeah, I don't think it does.
That's where these guys should go.
I think he's a Sambo guy. I think that's the thing. He's a Sambo guy. You know what I mean? And that's the only downfall of the bare knuckle boxing. What was that Brazilian one? Jungle Fights used to have it back in the day, where it was
Vale Tudo.
Yeah, Vale Tudo. Yeah, Vale Tudo, where it was bare knuckle MMA style.
That was awesome, man.
Yeah, so maybe we'll see a resurgence of that. Maybe
Chuck
we'll see.
Liddell and Vanderlei Silva both fought in that.
Yeah, that's both where they got their big name. Tons of dudes went to that and made a huge name and ended up getting signed by the UFC just because it was the big organization back in the day coming out of Brazil. I remember watching a ton of cards, back when Fight Network used to have it, and
do you remember
cards were crazy.
The ring had the net at the bottom, and guys would get stuck in that net.
Yeah, and then they get fed shots. Yeah, because that netting was so loose, it had really nothing behind it. It was kind of just like stapled to the mat, so it was just too loose. And then you would get on the other side, and dudes would be feeding you shots around the back of the fence. You know what I mean? Because it just was a terrible like soccer net. It had nothing to
Pretty
it.
much.
Nothing
It was
to
like
it.
a hammock.
So.
Probably go to ONE FC.
Yeah, I don't think ONE FC has any testing as well. Maybe a little bit, but I've never heard of anybody failing their tests over there.
No.
You know what I mean? I haven't heard anyone his test. What's
It's that American war on drugs.
Exactly.
We've got to defeat the drugs.
The gateway drug. So now the main event will be Alexander Olynyk versus Overeem, headlining the St. Petersburg card. A classic matchup of a mega grappler versus a striker. And I think it actually will be a decent card. I think it actually be a decent main event. First time in Russia. And I like the implications of it. Tough to say who's gonna take it. You know what I mean? Obviously, I think you'd have to kind of lean towards Olynyk. But can Overeem use his amazing striking skills to really put him in a bad spot and kind of knock him out? You can't let Overeem punch you. That's the thing. His jaw may have been gone 10 years ago, but you still can't let the guy hit you. We'll see what happens when that fight goes down.
I got Overeem.
I don't know. I really like Overeem's one of my favorite fighters of all time. But Olynyk he's just on such a tear right now. I think it's almost a step down for Olynyk to actually face Overeem, but I guess this is his true stepping stone. I'm just saying. I think it's his true stepping stone that if he beats Overeem, he gets the top contendership.
Man. He's not beating Overeem.
I hear you on that. I hear his striking.
He hasn't got that kind of power.
No, he's got
Overeem goes down to guys that hit really hard.
That's the thing. Olynyk isn't known for his striking at all, but he's probably one of the best grapplers since Frank Mir to step foot into the octagon.
Who beats Overeem with grappling?
That's
he's
true.
An excellent counter.
That's a good point.
He blocks takedowns good. He is actually good at defending the submissions. He can actually submit people.
Yeah, he's got some submissions too. Yeah,
back in the day, he used to submit people.
Yeah.
When he was a 205.
Yeah, when he was 205. You're maybe onto something there, Morgan. Who do you think takes that one, Kelly?
Oh man, I have no idea.
Flip a coin over here.
I'm not gonna call that one.
Going down.
We should see what they say on Bet365 about that.
Yeah. Maybe if he's an underdog, put some money on it. I got 5 on it. Another new switch up where it was supposed to be Diego Costa versus Yoel Romero, and then Costa failed his piss test, and Jacare stepped in to face Yoel Romero, and now unfortunately Yoel has now fallen ill to just a sickness is all they're saying. They haven't said what it is, but they're saying that he will not compete at the Miami card, and it actually will be Jacare versus Jack Hermanson. What? Yeah, he just choked out. We just saw Hermanson the other day. I can't remember what the heck card it was, and he had a quick against David Branch, where he had like that Peruvian necktie.
Oh, it's that guy.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, he's from. I think he's Norwegian, but he's actually fighting out of Sweden. Pretty jacked dude, and one a hell of a step up at a turnaround, and one hell of a step up of competition. I've always respected that, and I think they probably went to him first and said, "Hey, do you want this fight?" Especially at 185. That's what UFC needs right now is these guys for 185. And what a true test. You know, he beat David Branch. David Branch is a very tough guy. I would say David Branch is easily top 10. I don't know if maybe number 5 at 185 right now. But for him to beat him so easily with that slick submission, he's going to be put to the test against probably one of the most decorated jiu-jitsu guys in MMA, if not the UFC for sure, in Ronaldo Souza, Jacare. I got to ask you, Kelly, on that one. You know, and we haven't seen much of Hermanson. That's what we were talking about last show. I was like, I don't even know who the fuck this guy is. You know what I mean? But who do you think's going to take this one? Jack Hermanson. Yeah, nice. Yeah, I gotta go Jacare too. Just I've seen more tape on him, obviously, and if this Hermanson guy, if he's got any kind of a good camp, he's gonna want to stand with him. But that could also be his undoing. But he definitely doesn't want to go to the ground with him. But to choke out Jacare, what a feather in the cap that would be. I'm pretty excited to see what happens with that. It's just shitty that the Miami card couldn't get better. You know what I mean? You'd think Miami would garner more fighters like that. It's a big fight town. They have a ton of camps out of there. Coconut Creek is just littered with fight camps, and you know, that's where all those backyard fighting leagues started. You know, with Kimbo and even the one with Dad F5000. They both started out of Florida. You'd think they'd have a bigger following down there, but who knows? Who knows? Very odd. We talked about that last show. I was kind of shaken why they don't have more cards in Miami. I don't even remember when the last card in Miami was.
I think that the original headliner is pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, if that fight actually happened and Yoel Romero didn't get sick or whatever happened.
Mm-hmm.
Play staff.
Could be. Yeah, it could be. Yeah, I could see that. People ain't wiping their butts.
Pink eye as well.
But the biggest news from that fight is whoever wins it will get the next title shot. That's the biggest news coming out of the UFC for that fight. Winner will get the title shot.
Yeah, we'll see.
Someone's getting pink eye. Someone's getting pink eye on that. Conor McGregor's just going to move up to 185 and he's going to get it.
He's going to fight GSP who comes out of retirement.
Speaking of stacked cards, Bellator going back to London. That one is stacked. It has headlined by Gegard Mousasi versus Rafael Lovato Jr. I am really excited for that one. Tons of guys being announced for that one. Paul Daly as well will be on the card. And there's one other big name that was also announced. The name escapes me, but it's not even fully announced yet. And that one is really shaping up. The middleweight title belt will go on the line finally. Where Lovato, doing the smart move and not wanting the title contendership fight, or like we see in these stupid matches with the interim title belt, he's just saying, nah, fuck it, I'm waiting for Gegard. I'm not gonna hurt myself or expend myself, or maybe his weight cut is hard. I could see that. Maybe he's got a hard weight cut, but that one will go down. Rumored in the summertime. That one will go down. One fight that is rumored for that card as well: Lyoto the Dragon Machida will take on Chael, the American Gangster Sonnen, going down in Bellator. They kind of had called each other out a little bit. I think it's kind of a weird matchup. I thought we would maybe we'll see this at 185, and the winner of this will get the next crack at Gegard Mousasi, or whoever. If Rafael Lovato Jr. wins, we'll find out with that one. But I think that fight is gonna garner people and put asses in seats. I think it's a kind of a mismatch, but if anyone has sized up well and given people trouble throughout his entire career, that's Chael Sonnen. Kelly, I got to ask you, who takes that one? Dragon Machida or Chael Sonnen going down in Bellator?
I'm going to go with Chael Sonnen.
Ooh.
I think he's going to take him down and just kind of lay on him most of the fight.
Yeah, good strategy. I think I could totally see that. Yeah, and Lyoto is not really good off his back.
I would have picked Lyoto when they were younger. But now I don't think he'll overcome his takedown.
That's the thing. I don't know if this goes to 205 or 185, so we'll find out. Morgan, who do you think takes this one?
I got Lyoto, and it's kind of the opposite of Kelly's reason. I think Chael might have beat them when they were younger, but Chael has looked like shit in his last few fights. I think age has hit him hard.
Oof. That's true. That is true. I just don't think he doesn't have that drive anymore, too. I think he's got his hands on a lot of other pots. And I think he's making more money now than he did when he was fighting in the UFC. And, that's tough to wake up in the morning. When you got all this money, you're doing what you love and having fun with the show and different things, being an expert analyst. It's hard to wake up and do that 5K run or hit the pool or go to the gym or go to your workout gym and get the shit kicked out of you for 2 hours. It's got to be tough. He's definitely in his 40s. I think he's in his 40s. All those Quest guys are all old. I don't know.
Yeah, because he's an OG, man. He's been in fighting forever.
Yeah, I could. What do you think here? What is he?
42.
42. I was almost smacked out. 43. I was almost there. Almost there.
That's old in MMA, though.
That's really old.
He's been
40.
around a long time, too.
40 is old in MMA. Very few dudes can still pull that off.
Lyoto is 40, so they're both pretty old.
They're both because Bellator doing some smart moves here. But I think one of the smartest moves they've done, speaking of old dudes from the Pacific Northwest, am I right? Josh, the War Master, Barnett, signs with Bellator.
He's older than either of them.
I know. I think he's like 44. Yeah. He's up there. Yeah, he's older. But I think it's a perfect fit for him. The heavyweight division needs lifeblood. They lost a few of their younger guys to the UFC, and I think he can maybe get a few wins, get a few losses. But I'm actually excited for that sign. I'm a huge fan of Josh Barnett, babyface assassin. And I think it's a win-win for both those guys. Total win-win. I like the move. Sticking with some Bellator news, I think the biggest news of this week, Scott Coker and Bellator announcing the 16-man featherweight tournament will go down October 8th. It's 8 fights on the card, all as the first round, all featherweights. They're not going to do it one night. It's not a one-night tournament. We're not going to see that. But still, I'd love to see it, obviously, but it's going to progress throughout the year, through 2020. Biggest thing is winner gets $1 million. Prize going to $1 million. PFL setting the pace here, and I like it. For fighters to get paid and not to get screwed over by the UFC, the big monopoly of the UFC, lowballing these dudes. They're going to these other organizations, where they wouldn't crack the top 10 of the UFC, but they're still making UFC money, and I love it. Obviously getting paid throughout the whole shebang, and then to make it to that $1 million show, huge. I'm just really excited. They haven't announced anybody yet who's going to be in the tournament. That'll be in the days to come.
I like that. I like the prize money for the winner. That reminds me a lot of what Combate American does. But theirs are in one night sometimes.
Yeah, that is cool.
The winner gets like $1 million.
Yeah, I really like that. Especially, I think what they did was they had if you fight 3 times in one night, the first fight is 1 round, second fight is 2 rounds, and then the final fight is for 3 rounds.
Yeah.
Which I like that. That makes it, the guys are actually going to die from exhaustion.
And I like how they match up the countries against each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of the ones I watched was all the different South American countries each had a representative.
That's awesome.
And then another one was I think Spain versus Mexico.
Personally, I think the only way you're going to make a featherweight tournament entertaining is if you make it a Royal Rumble and just throw them all in at once. And say, fuck it, let's go.
You don't got to sell me on that one, Kelly. Now you're talking. That's how somebody dies. You just get like 8 dudes beating the crap out of one guy. That's what's gonna happen.
I guess you have to sign a waiver.
You should let like one middleweight in there, but he's got to enter first.
Okay.
He's got to enter the ring first.
Heavyweight, just fuck it, just one heavyweight.
Just DC.
One heavyweight and all flyweights.
And then if you throw DC in there, all the flyweights are gonna see you as they walk in is like bodies on the floor.
He's gonna be ragdolling them. They're gonna be tossed over the fence.
No, I'd rather see like one of the heavy hitters, like Derek Lewis or something, in there with them.
But you get tired.
They'd swarm his ass. They would prison style his ass. They'd have 2 guys go low, 2 guys go high.
Against him, man. He would one punch each one of them. Even if he hit them in the body or something, it'd be one punch.
It's true. Too many though. There's too many. They go after him like a bunch of like the Battle Royale against Braun Strowman. You know what I mean?
I love where this podcast is going. Totally on the tracks.
Going off the rails on the crazy train.
We're just gonna start our own organization of Battle Royale fights. Well, it's like that's what they do in the night fights. You know what I mean? But they're all wearing armor and shit. But still, that's what it's all about. The cheap shot. Dudes just getting attacked right in the fucking back. And that's what you would see, a whole ton of dudes being cold cocked right in the back.
They should start a show where one professional fighter takes on like 3 guys that know nothing about fighting.
Huh. We talking like office guys or like street toughs?
Not even street toughs. That's
Wow.
too much. No, just guys that would not be tough at all, but 3 of them versus one fighter.
I say the fighter definitely wins.
Yeah, those dudes get murdered.
Yeah.
Like 2 office workers, they just pull them straight out. Hey, you want $5,000? Have to be warehouse workers. Let's at least get warehouse workers so at least somewhat physical.
Some construction guys.
Yeah, okay, construction workers. Okay, yeah, construction workers. There you go.
They're physically fit,
yeah,
but they don't know what they're doing.
This is turning into something good here.
So they might win sometimes.
Exactly, yeah.
Just by luck. Okay, guys, we just gotta rush him and jump him.
Exactly. I'd watch.
Even then, somebody's getting choked out.
I'd watch it.
I watched back in the day a guy with 2 boxing gloves take on 2 guys who had the other pair of boxing gloves, but one had one on his right and one had the other on his left, and their arms tied behind their back. But they actually won because they were able to like move around them.
Well, 2 against 1. I know. I've heard this story many a time, and it is enthralling every time. Just for that reason, like, how are you gonna take on 2 guys? You got to bum rush one.
He tried to rush the guy with the right glove because he thought he'd be the worst guy to fight, and then the guy with the left glove was like following him around, bashing him in the face.
Oof. Good strategy. Yeah. How do you fight that off?
Not a good idea.
No. I think that's where the night fight strategy comes in. You know what I mean? 6-man. I think you have a 6-man, every man for himself fight. That's the only thing, man. Those cheap shot knockouts are going to be fucking plentiful. That's the only problem. Those cold cocks from behind or something like that. Dudes are going to get dummied and then trampled. I don't know. It'd be tough. But I think with the right location, the right money, I think you can make it work.
So the 16-man flyweight tournament from Bellator.
Battle Royale.
Battle Royale.
I think the biggest news, I'm glad Morgan's back. Biggest news for him, Tito Ortiz has said he's coming out of retirement. Surprised nobody. Hasn't announced his opponent. He will be fighting. It is rumored. It'll obviously be underneath the Golden Boy promotion, and he has said people are going to be excited with his opponent. TMZ actually breaking the news first. He just said he wouldn't say who his opponent is, but Tito's coming out, said one last one for fun. That's what he was trying to say. This one's for fun.
Tito's out of retirement again. Back to back with a brand new belt.
That's what he's saying. He's saying he feels healthy. He feels healthy. But I got to ask you guys, just off the top of your head, who do you think is going to be? You know what I mean? I'm guessing you got to dumb it down. Like California. There's a lot of these old dudes coming back and fighting. So, you know what I mean? It's tough. You know what I mean?
You said we're going to be excited?
That's what Tito said, so who knows? Maybe it is Dana White. Dun, dun, dun!
I would say Randy Couture, but Randy's very old.
Ooh, that's not actually bad. Yeah, but Randy is old as shit, yeah. Yeah, I don't see... hey, stranger things have happened.
Vitor Belfort?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
By someone right now?
No, that was the big rumor. Yeah, that was the big rumor to happen next. Yeah, absolutely.
That could be a good one.
Yeah, I think it's one Tito could avenge, too. You know what I mean? Because...
I think Tito would take him these days.
Absolutely. And then he knocked out Chuck. You know what I mean? Super glass jaw. Same with Vitor's. Another dude with a glass jaw these days.
I think Tito's just held it together better physically than a lot of these guys.
That's exactly it.
Even though he is he has had neck problems big time and
is
had a bunch of surgeries.
Fighting?
Yeah, that's not a bad one. Yeah, good call, Kelly. Yeah, he does actually. He actually trains out of San Diego.
Sorry to cut you off.
No, not at all. No, not at all. Good call.
Awesome.
Yeah, no, that's actually a really good call too, man. I could totally see that one. Yeah, he's. I'm pretty sure he lives full time in Southern California, so that's a good one. I'm just gonna go with an easy one of Dan Henderson. That was the one that was thrown around a lot back in the day too. So we got three viable options. That I could see them all happening. So we'll see what happens here.
Maybe
Coming
Fedor.
down. I don't know, because does Golden Boy have enough money to toss Fedor's way?
Golden Boy's got a lot of money.
That's true.
They're boxing promoters. They do big fights.
Yeah. Do they have Fedor money, though? I think so.
They do.
Yeah.
They've promoted Mayweather fights.
That's true. People love their boxing.
I guess that means they made money off the last one.
Somehow. What I thought was weird is how much that pay-per-view was for the bare knuckle fighting championship.
$39.99.
That's ridiculous. For bare knuckle boxing. That is insanity.
Honestly, it's worth it.
It was good.
It is worth it.
It was good.
Like, you can
But it
see
seems like a lot for something that's that new.
It's true. But
I'd
you can
say
see a shitty UFC card for a lot more money.
Yeah,
that's true.
If you're comparing it to some shit UFC cards, yeah, but UFC is so established that they've earned the right to charge a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
Whereas this, I thought, oh, this is pretty new. It's probably going to be $11.99 or $9.99 or something. Then we're $39.99. Good lord.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Good lord. Yeah, I thought $19.99. You know what I mean? You see a lot of cards are $27.99, but still $39.99. Holy moly, hot tamales! It was a good card though. We all watched it.
It delivered.
Yeah, it delivered. It really did. Actually, the main event was great. The undercard was cool. It was they really went toe to toe. And the one thing I liked about it the most was how they started in the center. Got that center circle. Rather than starting people outside that center, you start in that center circle, and you see people trying to get that little quick cheap shot, which I like. It's bare knuckle fight, and it's cheap. It's gonna be. You know what I mean? You want to mess the dude up, obviously, before he can mess you up. And no other fighting organization is more like that than bare knuckle fighting. It was good. It was actually a really good card, man. I love the actual, Chris Lieben. That swarming of Justin Baseman. You know what I mean? I think the guy just slept on him, and and he just... The one thing I didn't realize is you can do the rabbit punches, where you can grab the guy's back of the guy's head and just feed him shots. And Chris Lieben's his background of just being a street fighter, of that bare knuckle, basically street fighting in the streets of Seattle, has really paid off.
Vancouver, Washington.
Yeah, exactly.
And he was jumping people for smokes.
Wow.
That looked like a fucking jump.
That guy lost all his smokes.
I think he definitely got a nose job too before he came out of retirement because his nose is way too straight. And so that thing's gonna get messed up at some point.
Oh, it's like you remember like Vanderlei had that nose job and then they got messed up right away too. And his nose job was the freakiest.
It's all of a sudden Vanderlei went from scary looking to like just fucking weird looking.
Yeah, almost like a male model. You know what I mean? Because he had like already that kind of like that pushed in chubby nose, and now it's just like straight, like almost like a beak. He's got like a massive schnoz, and it didn't do too well for him in UFC.
Millie Vanderlei.
Girl, you know it's true. Leaving gets his groove back. What's crazy is that I was just smack talking him for being a part of the Bare Knuckle Fighting Federation, but Bare Knuckle Fighting Federation is officially done. It's not being said it is done, but it is 100% officially done, and all the fighters are in a lawsuit, and Chris Leaving's one of them because he didn't get a dime for his fight at that time because they made no money.
That's why he had to practice jumping people for smoking.
he had to get smokes in order to fight. Jeez, guy's got to smoke.
He spends it on steroids now. Come on, he's grown up.
He's jumping people for roids.
It's a lot easier when you're on them.
Well, it's just these big muscle-bound dudes that are so juiced up they can't wipe their own ass. So Leaving just picks them apart because they can't even run. Unless they're in a bench pressing contest or a deadlift contest, they ain't doing shit. Main event though, man, that did not disappoint. That was non-stop action. Artem Lobov takes it over Jason Knight. Super tight one. I had it 3-2, but Jason Knight pouring it on in those two later rounds. You know, Lobov had the first. You know, I think it was those extra knockdowns, and I think it was in the third or the second where he had that last second knockdown, and I think that really sealed the earlier parts of the fight. But Jason Knight didn't go quietly into the night. He stayed fighting and really put Lobov to the test, especially in the fifth. Was 100% Jason Knight's round, and it was a great fight. And a lot of people were saying Bonner versus Griffin for the likes of it. You know, their faces say it. I love Lobov had like almost a perfect before and after selfie. Whoo-wee. Like his nose is fucked up, his cuts everywhere on his face. It's a gruesome one to be in. I'm just glad those guys are getting paid adequately for it.
That's why they charge so much for the pay-per-view.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, they are making money, and that's what they said. They have deep pockets. They're saying they have Conor McGregor money, which I don't even know how that's even physically possible. But we'll find out down the road.
Backers.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about who you have, right? Absolutely. And you got to have. It's number two. It's two things. It's about the money, and then you have to have that money guy. Who's the guy who's going to make those people money and not piss it all away because he's a fucking idiot. And that's what we saw. We saw the exact opposite side of the coin with the Fighting Federation, the Bare Knuckle Fighting Federation, as opposed to the Fighting Championship.
Or the Alliance of American Football.
Oh,
did you watch
low blow.
Did you watch the first two fights on the preliminary?
No, I didn't. No, I just caught the. We came in a little late at Chase Sherman versus Sam Shoemaker.
Man, the first fight was like two old guys. It looked like they picked them up at a pub. Which is terrible. And then there was the women's fight, and they were just like throwing like, you watch like kids throw in like grade 6 or 7. They don't really know what they're doing. Like they almost look like they're just throwing a softball. Well, they just kept doing that over and over. One girl just Right.
No lefts.
No lefts.
I didn't learn lefts yet.
That's have a left hand.
That's in week 2 of my Taibo training. That's
she ended up like knocking out the other girl.
Wow.
With one of those rights.
You just gotta hold up your left hand the whole fight and you'll be safe. She didn't do that.
Sometimes you gotta go to quantity if you don't got
quality. That's true. That's true.
So yeah, man, that was the preliminary.
Do what you know. I think that was Sheena Starr versus Ivana Coleman. Yeah, KO. Wow, a KO and then right in the earlier the second round. Yeah, I wish I would have saw that one.
That's terrible.
That's hilarious.
Oh man, he was so bad.
Even Johnny Bedford was in it. I guess it was a tournament semifinal. He takes that one. Isaac Vale Flag wins again by TKO as well. He's a mainstay for there, a former UFC guy as well. So they actually got some good names, and I think this one here with Lobov and Knight going at it, and I think with Paulie Malignati kind of slapping Lobov. It sets him up to fight other, Lobov or even the rumors Conor McGregor. So we'll find out what happens there. A really good card coming out of the Bare Knuckle Fighting Federation. Let's talk some Fight Nights Global 92. Ali Bagawatina versus Vartan Asarayan. It was actually a good card. The only downside was my recording. I'd even recorded a half an hour extra. Was all messed up. So I recorded a half hour extra, and I was only at the beginning of the co-main event.
Unacceptable.
I know. So
I'd be more professional.
Oh, shut up. No, the damn Fight Nights channel. Come on, hit me up, people. I'll help you out here. And give me a show or something like that. But it was just unfortunate. I would love to do the commentating for this, because the commentators for this, if you listen to my drunken show a few episodes ago, me commentating on UFC, slayed it compared to these guys here. I'll fight them too. I don't care.
Shit.
Get that.
I'll do the commentary on that.
Exactly, yeah. But still, they're terrible. They're absolutely atrocious. I don't know who they are, but it's atrocious. The only thing they got going for them is they can pronounce the names a lot better than me, because they're some Russian dudes from Montreal or something. But the commentating is just atrocious. Like I said, me drunken with no preparation at all doing a UFC was better than this, and I could commentate circles around those chumps.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta just turn the commentary off when it's really bad.
That's how bad it was. Yeah, that's how bad it was. It was just rough. It was just rough.
Even the UFC has some kind of bad commentary.
Oh yeah, no, I'm glad they got rid of most of those guys too. You know what I mean? But it was actually a decent card. It was actually a decent card. I've watched a few fight nights now, the cards in their entirety, and I actually haven't been disappointed. And this one, at least they had ring girls. The last one I saw, they had no ring girls. Just these weird Russian dancing guys in the middle of the ring, which I thought was even it was in full Russian traditional garb.
Oh,
you know what I mean? It was very odd. But they had no women. It must have been some kind of in some kind of Muslim territory, because they had no women around the ring at all. But this one had what we come to see with Russians, and very, very attractive, beautiful ring girls, and that's what we saw here. This one here, I can't remember where the heck.
Part of the fun of watching a Russian card.
Of course, yeah. So this one was out of Moscow, out of the Arena Dynamo VTB. And it wasn't bad. There was a lot of amateur, it was amateur fights, and some of them were actually very entertaining. I think that's what these dudes do. They threw caution to the wind, and it was refreshing and exciting. One fight that was, how far down is this one? Yeah, Vladimir Agoyan versus Nikita Balatov. Went to decision. Man, it was actually super, super exciting. Both these dudes were pretty amateur, both the guys, but man, they were really catching each other. They were doing some funky moves. There was a lot of trash talking going on, and they really went toe to toe. It was really a really good fight. Went to decision, but I was actually thoroughly entertained through all three rounds. Of these two dudes, I had no clue who they were. Very amateur. I think the one guy was 3-2, and the other guy was 2-1. You know what I mean? So it actually was entertaining. What was funny about that fight is one of the corners, Kelly. He was wearing full bandana around his face and on his head, so you could just barely see his eyes. Like this guy owed somebody money or something. But, I thought he's just coming down to the ring like that. Cool, whatever. Nope. He wore it the entire fucking time. He's in there, rubbing ice on the guy. Still got the whole thing on. He's yelling at him from the corner. He's got the whole bandana on, everything. He's standing with him announcing the fight winner. He's terribly
shy.
No, I think he's either that or a terrorist. One or the other.
He's thugged out.
Maybe Russian thug. I don't know. I think he owed someone money. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. He owed somebody money, and he was doing this job underneath the table. He owns the Russian government money, and he's like, make the check out to cash.
He's a tax evader. He's scared of Putin.
He's scared of Putin. Oh shit. He ends up dead the night after. We have ways of making you talk. That was actually a really good, really funny part about it. Always the other funny part is the lip syncing. The lip syncing is just out of fucking control on this show, man. They'll have different things. They had a full band come out with a guy, and it was all fake. No, they actually weren't playing the instruments. You know what I mean? They had like a full band, a big guy with a big tuba. I can't remember. They were playing like the Rocky song. And like, this doesn't even match up. It doesn't even match up at all. And I'm like, where's the microphones? You know what I mean? I don't see, when you see people with horned instruments or drums, there's a mic attached. There was no mic, nothing. There's a guy with a saxophone. There's no microphone attached. You know what I mean? So, and then like they always have like girl singers, rappers come down all the time. The DJ's the worst. There's one DJ for the whole entire thing. I give it to him. He's really, really working the crowd, but he plays, constantly like any Eastern European white trash DJ you would hear at any club. He's constantly hitting that air horn button, bam, 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 bam.
Oh, I love that shit, man. When you go to like the black clubs downtown that play reggae.
He just hits that button all the time. He just hits that button the whole fucking time.
You really blame him.
I can. It's too much.
Hitting that button so much.
Come up with a new fucking sound effect, people. Come on. But the weirdest part is they had this weird intermission where they had it was the couples coming down. They were kind of dressed more like Westerners, which I thought was weird. But they were like, the girl was dancing, and they were both coming down. It was like a younger guy and a younger girl coming down to the ring. As I guess, and I didn't realize what the fuck was going on. I thought they were celebrities. No, they were just part of like some dance troupe. But once they made it to the ring, they all circle around the ring, and the guys are just standing there, and then the girls are dancing, but it's not coordinated, no choreography, and it doesn't seem like the song, they knew what song they were going to be hearing. It just the fucking guy hitting bam, 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 bam. So I was like, what is this? But they all look like they were like from...
Maybe they suck so bad that guy's like, I better do something, and he's like...
now's my time to shine. Bam, 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 bam.
In this show.
She's like... He's like, bang, 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 bang.
One thing I did notice is what I hadn't seen from all the Fight Nights Global events was the crowd was actually pretty dead on this one. I didn't see, maybe Moscow's too snooty for something, but there was empty seats. I hadn't seen that in any of the Russian cards before. Usually the places are packed with tons of people. They got their weird-ass celebrities over there, we would never hear about over here. But I didn't see any of that. I saw very little of their local celebrities and that type of thing. So it was a little weird with that.
They're all at the KHL playoffs.
That could be it. Yeah, that could be it. That's garnering more of the celebrity status, especially in Moscow. I think they have like 10 teams just out of Moscow alone.
He's big in Russia.
That's true. But I don't really got much to talk about the rest of the fights, honestly. But the weirdest, bar none, weirdest moment of the whole night was they introduce Alexander Zaganovsky. And at first I thought, maybe this guy's the owner or something. But they play Bad to the Bone for him to come down to the ring to Bad to the Bone. And here he comes down on a Harley to the ring. And I thought, no, he must be the owner or something. And then I see him, I'm like, oh no, this guy's he's the announcer. He's the ring announcer. And he's like the Bruce Buffer of Russia over there.
Bruce Buffer better step his game up, man.
I know.
Come down to the octagon in a parachute or something.
I just thought, what the fuck is going on here, Russia? Oh man, it was pretty fucking funny. But who won the main event here? Because like I said, I missed the co-main event, which was for the welterweight title. I only saw them walk down to the ring with Dmitry Berkrev beating Maxim Buertin That one went to decision. It looks like I didn't miss much. And then Ali Bagoatinov takes his decision, wins the featherweight. Well, that was a 5-rounder. Oof. Oh, both of them were 5-rounders too. That would have been rough to watch. In a decision against Vartan Asarayan. They had a bit of beef. I saw in a previous fight nights that they got into it. But it was kind of almost like it was far too forced, I thought. But it was, all in all, what I got to see was pretty damn good. And I'll watch them again. I really like it because they're on in the morning for me, so I'll just record it and I can watch the next day. Like it's on Saturday morning here on the West Coast, like early Saturday morning. Like they start at like 7 a.m. So if I record it and get back to it, I just gotta remember to, record 2 hours extra or something, because this one there was no way I would have, with 2 decisions, an extra 30 minutes, an extra hour basically after my recording ahead went out. When I recorded an extra half hour, just hilarious. Oh, what time we got here? I think we probably should take a quick little break here. We'll take a quick little break here and we'll get right back to you folks after these brief messages. Allergy season got you down? Use a neti pot. Boil the water. Shove it up your nose. Wouldn't be able or possible without water. Clears your sinuses.
Boiling water?
Yeah, boiling. You don't use boiling water? I'm doing it wrong. You're a bitch if you ain't using boiling water in your neti pot.
Shit, I just use distilled water.
I was shocking. Don't use boiling water in your neti pot. These sinuses are killing me. Apshi! Apshi! Try a neti pot today. Cure your sinuses right up. Seasonal allergies no more. Be sure to use nothing but water when it comes to your neti pot. Buy the Water brand neti pot today. $14.99 on the Stephen and Kelly and new podcast website. Check it out. Neti pots.
Are you tired of constantly having to buy new phones because you drop them in a toilet while watching porn? Make sure they're waterproof. Brought to you by the Water Company.
And always remember, when water damages something that you love, you'd be dead without water. Shut up, bitch!
Water. You'd be dead without it. Bitch. And welcome back, folks. Hope you enjoyed our commercials. And go grab yourself a tall, cold glass of water on the house. Last week, we talked no wrestling, all for the build-up of this week. Wrestlemania! Greatest time of the year for wrestling fans. All these other minor organizations try to glom onto the WrestleMania weekend as well, especially with it being in New York. My man, Pentagon Jr., he was rocking out his show. He had the Joey Ryan show in New York as well. Tons of indie stars were in town. Meeting different wrestlers and that type of thing was super, super cool, and that's what I always love about it. Gotta give a huge shout out to my man Pentagon Jr. getting shit done. He's blowing up so huge right now. It's only a matter of time. I'm sure WWE has come knocking, and they did in the past. Obviously, their deal wasn't as good as AEW, but they're gonna come eventually show up with a truckload of money to his house, and he's gonna have no choice but to take it. I think his only downside, like I said, one of my favorite wrestlers right now. He's my most favorite independent wrestler, 100%. Problem is he doesn't speak English. That's the only problem. And we've seen that kind of, some guys get away with it for a certain period of time. Like Sin Cara. Where's Sin Cara been? You know what I mean?
I think Pentagon's a bit better and has more charisma despite not knowing English than Sin Cara.
Way more charisma. That's what he just oozes it. Just oozes it. But I'm just saying, it's a huge hurdle to overcome.
Him a good manager.
Yep, that's good. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, give him a good manager.
Yokozuna didn't talk, right? That guy was a WWE champ.
That's a different time. I think that was a different time. You know what I mean? Where he had a good manager.
You can still do it if you do it right.
He had Mr. Fuji as his manager, who also didn't speak English. So he come down to the ring, beat somebody up, and then walk. I think he just more
But they also had Jim Cornette.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah, they did have Jim Cornette for a short period of time, and they had he was so popular. He had 2 managers.
Yeah,
they don't come across this time of day like that anymore, man. I tell you what.
He was 600 pounds. He garnered it.
Yeah, exactly. This is just a freak of nature. Kelly watched WrestleMania. How much did you enjoy the show, Kelly? Your first time.
I watched almost all of it. I got cut off when like the main event, like Ronda Rousey.
Ooh.
All of them. But yeah, I watched it up until then.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that, and Morgan and I were talking about it on the night before, just how long it was, and I was just feeling that. I was feeling that as well. Come the main event, I was kind of done. You know what I mean? I was like, I can't really get hyped up for this. Thank God it's such a huge main event that I am going to watch. But I found myself kind of tracing on my phone a little bit, playing my phone game. And I'm like, oh, shit, I'm watching this fight here.
See, I actually had a siesta during that.
That's a good strategy.
I watched
good strategy.
About like 3.5 hours, and then I fell asleep. And I woke up. I rewound it back to where I was and watched the rest.
Nice, good strategy. I've done that before for pay-per-views, especially the longer ones. I've done that before where you just kind of doze off. That's a good nap.
I was playing video games in between like matches. And
stuff. Awesome. That's a great plan. That's a great plan. Kelly living in the future over here. He's using 2 TVs.
He's like the millennial Yoda.
Why is streaming on my laptop?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, that's awesome. WrestleMania. It's tough to. There's been so many of them these days. I wouldn't call it anywhere near the bottom. I wouldn't call it anywhere near the top. If you have to rate this one, I did really enjoy it though. That's the most important thing. I enjoyed it. I loved everything. The fireworks, the big entrances, the surprises. And that's what you want to see. I checked all my boxes when it came to that for this WrestleMania, and I'm going home happy. Everyone wants to hate on it. It's never going to be perfect for them because they couldn't fucking dig up Yokozuna and they couldn't dig up the fucking Ultimate Warrior. So there's always gonna be people bitching about it, but I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I think there's a certain segment of the population of wrestling fans that just like to bash on everything.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's indie and there's only like 5 people watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was awesome, man. No one else saw it, but it was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But every WrestleMania, every Royal Rumble, every Survivor Series gets bashed. Some of the like low-key WWE pay-per-views get praised, but all the big ones get bashed on. Even though most of the time they're actually pretty good.
Yeah, I agree.
I thought this one was good. The only box it didn't take off for WrestleMania for me is an Undertaker match, but
yeah.
I get it. He's getting old and he didn't want to.
That was my tick, was Undertaker wasn't involved. Good. Check mark.
Good. The fuck?
We didn't see Bray Wyatt.
Who doesn't like the Undertaker?
Now I don't. He's like 100. He's time to put him out to pasture. Time to put him out to pasture.
Is there any wrestler that was like had a costume where if you replaced him, people wouldn't know?
Great point, actually, Kelly. I really love that question. Actually, yeah, it'd have to be number one exactly. It'd have to be a dude with a mask. But the WWE back in the day even tried that. Yeah, Sin Cara too. Yeah, they did do it actually with Sin Cara. They totally replaced him. Yep.
What were those guys back in the day with the masks and they were like masked wrestler number 1, masked wrestler number 2?
Oh, they were like the Machine. Is that what you're talking about?
Something like
that. Yeah, because Andre was one.
I can't remember what they were called, but there was like all these guys.
I think they were called like Machine 1, Machine 2.
Guy, they always had the same mask.
Oh no, I think it's somebody. I know what you're talking about.
I think Doink the Clown changed too.
Yeah, Doink did change. Yep. But yeah, Sin Cara is actually one of them. The guy we were just talking about. He was originally Mystico, or his name is like Callistico. He was a megastar in Mexico. That's why they thought they could bring him over and he could do good. It didn't turn out that way. He botched all the time. He would always botch his moves. His matches were atrocious. Couldn't speak any English. He had no charisma, and he really kind of was a dick. You know what I mean? So it didn't turn over well. He didn't come with a good attitude.
He was like beating up all
he was
the other
exactly.
guys backstage,
He was getting into fights backstage.
Beat up Sheamus a few times, I think.
He was too ghetto, and they just replaced him with another Mexican wrestler, but they still called him Sin Cara because when Mystico came over, he was so big he couldn't use the Mystico name. So they made him Sin Cara, so that since WWE owns Sin Cara, the name, they just replaced him. They just replaced him with a different dude.
I think possibly if he had been big in Mexico now and then came up because of like the internet and all the fans being into like Mexican wrestling and indie wrestling and Japanese wrestling and things other than WWE, I think now when people come over, it carries a little bit more weight than it used to.
Great point, man. No, that's a total great point. Absolutely. The media, especially with wrestlers promoting themselves, you would never have heard of a Mystico match back in the day. You know what I mean? Unless you had AAA and you knew exactly what channel you had to pay. You know what I mean? Probably a lot of money for that to get that channel. It wouldn't be part of an old package, and you'd have to get it. But the two dudes, Kelly, they tried to replace back in the 90s, didn't wear masks when they tried to replace Diesel and Razor Ramon when they went to WCW. That was one of the biggest flops by WWE because they tried to replace two dudes, and they thought, hey, we got your gimmick. You're just Diesel and you're just Razor Ramon. You're interchangeable. Did not work out.
I think that was Kane.
It was actually Kane. Yeah, Kane actually, yeah.
Diesel.
Kane was fake Diesel. Yeah, exactly. And he had a rough go, to go to so many different personas before he landed on Kane, which ultimately was the one he stuck with, obviously, and really turned out. My God, it's Kane!
Fake Undertaker was the best fake one. Because he looked very similar to Undertaker.
Well, I think if you get long hair, the whole fake Undertaker angle I thought was terrible. I thought it was
Undertaker versus Undertaker.
I thought it was cheap. When I was
a kid, I thought that was awesome, man.
You know what? I hate the cartoons when they have the doppelganger. You know what I mean? That's the cheapest storyline you can come up with, a doppelganger. Oh, there's another guy that looks exactly like him.
I like it.
That's a terrible.
I love doppelgangers.
I hate doppelgangers. It's so overused. That's the problem with it. Everyone goes to that. It's cheap. It's the cheapest thing. It's the same guy as you.
Okay, how many times does that happen in wrestling?
In wrestling, not often, because it didn't turn out the first time. Anyways, I digress.
I think that's the only time I know of.
Exactly, me too. Oh shit! Starting off the show, Kelly. I don't even think you saw this one. Start off the show with Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
CrossFit Jesus. In their match, and how quick it was too. I thought, Brock Lesnar's known for quick matches, but to get curb stomped 3 times in a row, I had a feeling it was going to end this way, but I didn't expect it to happen so quickly. It was a decent match for a Brock Lesnar match, and your new WWE champion, Universal champion, is Seth freaking Rollins. Burning the beast down. Everyone wants to say slay the beast. I say burn the beast down. Burn it down.
No, he's slaying the beast and he's burning down Suplex City.
Okay, that works.
Did you see DC trash talking Brock Lesnar for losing that match?
I read the headline, but I actually didn't see the video.
I think he's just trying to promote the fight.
Yeah, it wasn't nothing that bad. I can't remember exactly what he said, but it was something along the lines of like Brock just got his ass kicked or something like that.
Yeah, because they are building up for that. Is the big rumor, and obviously with that statement, it's August is going to be the fight. Apparently, August will be the fight. DC versus Brock Lesnar. I am the next. It was okay. I didn't watch any of the pre-card except for a little bit. I'll get to a little bit later on. I'm glad AJ won. Kind of weird that his rivalry with Randy Orton. I've said time and time again, I'm not the biggest Randy Orton fan, so I hope that rivalry can be put to rest, because anybody who goes into a rivalry with Randy Orton gets buried in the storyline, and I think that's what they're trying to do to AJ here. They're trying to see how good he really is, if he can last with this. Happened with a bunch of dudes. Rey Mysterio got pushed down. Jeff Hardy got pushed down until he left that, and then he rose up too.
This guy's had more titles than anybody else currently in the company. How's that pushed down?
No, when they put him up against, because they're going to lose to him. You know what I mean? If you're going up against Randy Orton, you're obviously going to lose to Randy Orton. I think that's the problem. Randy Orton
He doesn't always win.
He didn't win at WrestleMania, and that's what I was glad about. But
AJ is their poster boy. Right now. He's like the John Cena guy now. You know.
Yep.
Like John Cena, Roman Reigns, all those guys that they just continually push and put over every single time. That's AJ Styles.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
He's that guy right now.
Yeah, he is so over too.
If anybody gets put up against him, they're going under. Because he always goes over.
We saw it here. We did see it here. It was a pretty good match. I thought they set a pretty good pace. I know you want to talk about Shane and the Miz, and I'll give it. It was pretty creative. I thought I liked what they were doing. Obviously the finish when they went up to the scaffolding where the camera was. I thought it was pretty cool. They moved around. They didn't just stay in the ring. And
it was my favorite match of the whole show.
Wow, really? I wouldn't give it that. I would even.
I don't think any of the other ones even compared.
It was different. I'll give him that. I thought it was kind of a slap in the face to have Shane beat the Miz, though. Even though how it was, I thought that was kind of weird.
I don't see it being a slap in the face.
I think it is.
Shane is one of their craziest performers.
Was
every time look at his last performance. It's not was when his last performance was Sunday and it was awesome.
I don't think he did as much. He did a little bit of his normal stuff. Like I said, I'm just getting kind of tired of it. Actually, like I said, he pushed the envelope with the final. Like I said, they were a bit creative, and
he's the one guy that they know ain't gonna sue them if he gets fucked up. So he does the craziest shit.
Shane McMahon is obviously the son and the heir to the company, Kelly.
The cool thing about him, he's the son, so he didn't have to get good at shit. But he became one of the craziest wrestlers that pulled off the craziest stunts and put his body through the most damage out of anybody in the company. He didn't need to do that, but he did, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think his Kurt Angle match was one of those matches when you go through the window.
Thing was when Bret Hart got attacked the other night at the Hall of Fame ceremony. Shane was the first guy running in the ring after that guy.
Nice.
I didn't even recognize him because you watched wrestling a long time ago and he looked a lot younger when he had
brown hair, now he's got silver.
And then I saw him then Shane had to look it up and Google image him and everything.
That's hilarious. Are you sure that's him?
What the hell happened?
He's been definitely eating well. I can say that. You know what I mean? He's a billionaire. It's got to be hard, like I said, man.
He's built, man. That guy's ripped.
I know. I don't think he was obviously in good a shape as he was, 10 years ago, but still.
No,
who is? Am I right?
Yeah, actually, he's in better shape.
I don't think so.
Oh, he is. You should see, he's built.
Yeah, he is.
Before he was kind of skinny. Now he's he's big.
He is bigger. Yeah, no doubt about that. Yeah,
muscle.
I don't know. It's right on the borderline of that. I think it's right on the borderline of.
No, he's a pretty ripped dude.
He needs to take his shirt off then.
Oh, yeah.
It's like Becky Lynch hiding the mabs under a shirt.
He's wrestling with two shirts. He's so conscious of his body. He really is. It's a pair of Spanx underneath there.
I bet he one's a rash guard or something.
a one lit.
Or Spanx.
A one lit.
One lit.
Dude, look, Vince is fucking 70. He's still ripped.
The four-way tag match I thought was really good. I really liked that one. I really thought the Usos were gonna lose, but they gave them they kept the belt with the Usos. Actually, it was a really, really good match. Any match, obviously, you have Ricochet and Aleister Black against the Usos against the Bar. It's gonna be an amazing match.
My favorite part of that match was when Cesaro was spinning him around.
Yeah.
Man.
and then
Sheamus was bashing the other guy over the.
I showed my wife, check this guy out. He's been spinning for 2 minutes straight.
Yeah.
And I'm just around and around and around every time he spins.
Yes, Cesaro is so good. Yeah, Cesaro is so good. Yeah.
It's been so tired.
They're a good tag team.
Yeah, I really love that tag team a lot. Yeah. I think they've just kind of taken a back seat just because of Sheamus's injuries and that type of thing. I think, they're definitely one of the best tag teams of the 2010 era. I'll give them that.
All of those are good tag teams that were in that match.
Yeah, totally.
Usos are amazing.
Yep.
I think he was starting to get tired around the end because I saw the guys rub against the mat a few times.
Oh, shit.
That's a feat of strength, man.
Yeah, big time. Big time.
How long can you spin another man? And go.
You gotta go by time and rotations. How many rotations and how much time?
Yeah.
I guess you'd want to do it fast, really, use momentum, but still, the faster you go, there's whole physics involved. Talking science on the new podcast.
But also at the same time, the faster you go, the more force will be pulling.
That's true. Yep, exactly. Yeah, exactly. The women's fatal 4-way match. Whoo-wee. Was that ever good? Best part is Morgan. You know what I mean? It was good, man. The future of the women's tag team division, it looks bright and iconic.
It looks like shit.
Oh, man. Oh, the Iconics. I called it. Who called it?
I've never been as disappointed
Who?
by a result of a match in a WrestleMania ever. Like the shittiest fucking workers they got in the whole company.
Oh, my God. Yeah. This we're not talking about, like, the Revival here. We're actually talking like an actual good team.
Yeah, the Revival can wrestle. That's why they're fucking putting them down.
So can the Iconics.
I said to my wife, "You might call this moment iconic."
Ah!
And she said, "No, I wouldn't."
She's smart.
No way.
I called that moment moronic.
No way, man. No way. Oof, that was awesome. That was great. Good match.
It was like, okay, they're hot, so they suck at wrestling.
They're not bad.
Every time they talk, it's the worst shit to ever come out of a WWE microphone.
It works. It's so bad it works.
It doesn't work at all. It's just the shittiest shit ever.
No, I love
if
it.
it wasn't for other things on Raw, like, I would never watch that shit in my life. I would rather watch that channel with, like, all the different colored bars sticking down, and it's like, got the time in the corner.
That's not very nice.
That's a little bit less annoying.
Wow. No, I love when they talk. I think they should talk more and get used to it, Morgan, because they're the champs. They're gonna be on they're gonna be on NXT. They're gonna be on SmackDown.
It's a good thing
they're gonna be on Raw. Yeah, I'm gonna come over and break your fast forward button.
Yeah. The fucking stupidest thing is they bring Beth Phoenix out of retirement to lose to those shitheads.
Yeah. I really thought they were actually going to win. I totally thought.
They should.
I thought it was going to be Natty and Beth Phoenix. That was my number one pick. Absolutely to win that one. I you know what I mean? I thought they would.
I thought Natty and Beth Phoenix were the Boston Hug connection retained.
Yeah. I thought too, yeah.
I didn't think... I thought Iconics were just thrown in there to make a fourth team.
No, who called it, man? Who called it? I'm on tape here as saying it months ago. Mark my words. They're going to be the next champ. Boom. Ones
that are actually a tag team.
One thing that's gotta stop is Sasha Banks doing that frog splash. Did you see that? Sloppy. It's more of a belly flop. You're gonna try to honor Eddie Guerrero.
Critique, like, the best wrestler that was in that match.
That was bad. That's what I'm saying. She's good.
She's better than all of them aside from maybe Bayley.
She's got to go with different moves other than that frog splash. It's so sloppy. Every time I've seen it, it just doesn't work. She doesn't get the height or something. She doesn't. She looks discombobulated when she does it. It's not good. It's not good.
You don't hold the woman to the standard of like Eddie Guerrero or something.
I know, but still, I'm just saying it's Eddie. That's what I'm saying. If you're going to use Eddie Guerrero's moves, one of the legends
obviously
of the sport,
look like that.
I know, but then don't do it. Don't do it.
Wow.
Oh shit.
You hit it here first. If you can't do it exactly like him,
Yeah, don't do it. Well, at least pull it off somehow. Anywho, let's move on here. The next match, Kofi Kingston, Kofi Mania. Did not see that coming. You know what I mean? I did not see it. I'm not opposed to it. Sure, give Kofi the belt, the WWE champion. You know what I mean? It's going to obviously give him that last nod. He already had tons of championships, and he was definitely Hall of Fame bound. But I think they're giving him his last nod. Maybe we see him take some time away from the squared circle and have some family time. As you saw, his two young children join him in the ring to the glee, obviously, of his New Day members, Biggie and Tupac.
Puff Daddy.
Puff Daddy.
We don't stop.
Kofi Kingston taking home the belt. I was pretty shocked by that, but we have the new new WWE World Champion. Good move. I think the internet was happy. As I said earlier in the year too, they're giving the fans what they want. Terrible move to do, but I think it was a smart move for Kofi. But I gotta ask you, Morgan. I'll even ask you, Kelly, with no future knowledge, or past knowledge, I should say. You will have future knowledge of how long does this last?
I don't see him being that long of a title reign, even though I would like him to have a long title reign. I just think Vince has a certain type of guy that he likes to be the champ, and I don't know if Kofi necessarily is that.
Mm-hmm.
But I like him as champ. I always like Kofi Kingston. He's a good wrestler. He's good on the mic. He's entertaining. He always pulls off really cool spots in his matches and does creative stuff. And I love the New Day. Like, I always thought that, like, okay, you had the 3 teams that came in around the same time with 3 guys in each. You had the Shield, the Wyatt family, and the New Day. And, like, right away, the Shield guys started getting belts, and then Bray Wyatt got a belt.
Yeah, they were really running shop and picking on people.
New Day, like, somebody, like, probably Kofi, obviously, maybe Big E, get a world title when New Day was, like, killing it compared to those other factions.
I think the problem was, and that's what I just noticed recently, was they never really had a leader. You know what I'm saying? They never really had a foregone conclusion of a leader. And I think that's the biggest problem with that team is who's in charge here. And I think they kind of got derailed a little bit in the beginning, you know, with the New Day sucks chants. But I will 100% say, I'll admit to this too. We argued about this back in the day. You were saying, no, these guys are great tag team, and I was saying, no, they're terrible. They're a terrible team.
Yeah,
I was 100%.
Shows how wrong you were.
Yeah,
Just
once
like you are with the moronics.
I was wrong once. And here we have them, you know, at the top of the stage now.
To that point, I don't really think the Shield had a number 1 guy either. Where, like, back in the day, like, it was almost like Ambrose was their leader.
Yeah.
But he was not the guy to get the belt. Rollins and Reigns both got the belt before him.
That's what I totally thought too. Like, Ambrose was their main mouthpiece, and I thought he was. I think he actually got the first. I think he actually won the the
like US
the
title.
US title first.
Yeah, he got that. But I'm talking about a world title or a universal title.
Yeah. No. Exactly.
He
exactly.
didn't get that until after the other guys, and he had a shorter reign too.
Big time. But I thought exactly. I totally agree with what you're saying with Ambrose. But I think obviously Roman Reigns, I think, kind of stood up as the kind of always had been because he was the big dog, the bigger guy of the team.
He's the best one.
Yeah, for sure. Even though Seth Rollins, you know what I mean, a lot of people would want to would definitely have him higher, obviously, especially right now as well.
Yeah, he's hard to be interested in the.
But we got to give me a number here. We went way off track here. How long? Give me a month. How many months does Kofi Kingston hold that belt?
I'm thinking 3.
3? Wow. Kelly, what are you gonna say? Kofi Kingston as the champ.
I'm gonna say 4.5 months, and then he loses it and he gets it back in
Ooh.
6 months.
Wow, I like that, huh? I like that. Yeah,
Hopefully he builds a feud with somebody.
keeping them in the title in the title shot. I like that. I'm gonna say I was gonna say maybe SummerSlam, but I think he'll go past that. I think he's gonna. I'm gonna say actually less. I'm gonna say 2 months is all he holds it for. He loses it before SummerSlam.
After Brock comes back from the UFC.
No, he ain't coming back. Well, maybe later. Yeah, much later on.
You think Brock's gonna do like multiple UFC fights?
I think 1 or 2. I think give him
he does 1 at a time. It seems like
2 years. I think he'll come back. But how old will he be then? You know what I mean? He'll be up there in age too. I love one thing I really liked about the event was Rey Mysterio coming out like Mysterio.
Yeah,
And I thought that was so cool. You know what I mean? That was so cool. You know what a slam dunk. Yeah, what a slam dunk in New York. You know what I mean? And I thought, man, what a slam dunk that was to come out. He looked super cool. It was a great costume, one of his best costumes of all time. But what was very odd, it was how much of a quick match that was. Did you see that one too, Kelly? Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio. It was probably like 4 minutes long.
I might have missed it.
You know what? At that
You
point of
if
the
you
card-
blinked, you would have missed it. It was a minute.
Yeah, I played.
It was 1
At that
minute.
point of the card, I was happy for a short match. As much as I felt bad for Ray,
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? Something had to be quick.
Yeah. Maybe because he was injured prior to going into WrestleMania. Maybe that injury
Definitely.
had played a role in that.
I had heard about that too, that it
Yeah.
was a game time decision.
Yeah, exactly. He kind of twisted his ankle badly, a high ankle sprain.
So he's probably like, Joe, I could come out and get my ass kicked by
Yep.
you in 1 minute.
yeah, exactly. And he had a bit of a hard bump too, where he kind of slipped, like almost like his foot kind of gave out on him, and landed right on his butt. And didn't look like a nice fall. Looks like he went straight, like it didn't break his own fall at all.
Samoa Joe's the next WWE wrestler that I want to see do MMA.
Yeah, me too. He's real old though. He's in his 40s.
I know he's
Yeah,
trained
yeah.
in MMA though. He
Yeah.
used to train with the Team Quest guys,
Yeah, he's actually did train. He's got the build for it. He's huge.
and he's Samoan.
Yeah, exactly. Slam dunk. It's a slam dunk. But the return of Thugonomic Cena?
Best shit on the whole
Oh
card.
my god!
That,
Are you
Machino
se-
Mac, those are the two best
I thought it was so played out.
It was so good.
That was rough,
It was the
man.
best.
That was rough.
They got the biggest pop of the night.
Because in New York, 2010 called, and they want their slang back. I felt so sorry for John Cena. He seems so old.
No.
He
You should
seemed,
never feel sorry for John Cena.
he looked so old in that, and it looked so played out. I was disgusted. I was disgusted for him.
Dude,
Embarrassed.
he went viral. It blew up the internet. It got the biggest pop in the fucking stadium. You're on your own. You're home.
Oh no, man! I'm 100% right. John Cena. It just.
You know what? When he says you can't see me, he's talking to you.
Oh, good. I turned down the volume because I don't want to hear him either. He's a fast. That was almost a fast forward. My kids obviously love John Cena. Everyone loves John Cena. I'm just never been a fan, and to go back to that,
I loved it. That was my favorite era of John Cena.
I thought it was
The
stupid.
Doctor of Thugonomics.
I thought it was stupid that he didn't have the match against
His finger rings were awesome too.
Word Life. Yeah,
The
I
Word
do like
with
Word
the
Life. Yeah,
the WrestleMania style font. Oh, it was so
Yep.
good.
still played out. So
Ponto,
played.
Elias. I'm so glad he stopped that shit Elias was doing, because Elias I usually love, but that was fucking stupid.
Playing with like himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
And that was the
yeah.
bomb when fucking Cena dropped that line on
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
the playing with yourself line. It was so good. That brought me back to Attitude Era Wrestling.
Too
John
bad-
Cena is like the only guy remaining in the company that can cut those kind of promos.
It's
like,
true.
The Rock could do it, Stone Cold could do it, Cena can do it, and he came out and did it. But none of these other guys can do that. They all come out on the mic and sound like some rehearsed bullshit.
Yeah. No, I'll give him that. But it just didn't do it for me. Just didn't. I
loved it.
Just didn't do it for me. I'm gonna have to. It's a no.
nuts.
It's a no
My
for
wife
me,
even
dog.
was like,
It's a
"What's
no
going
for
on
me,
in there?"
dog.
Because I was fucking getting hyped.
Yeah, man. My kids were getting hyped, but
See, every living room that had that show on was getting hyped.
he's over here saying, "What the hell is going on here?" Oh shit. Anywho, I was sad that to see Elias not make fun of New York. Easy move. He didn't do it. What did you think of the Batista Triple H match? Kelly, did you watch that one?
I did.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it wasn't actually bad. I actually liked the hardcoreness of it. Actually, I thought some movie magic in there or something, but the whole bending his fingers with the channel lock wrench and then pulling out his nose ring with the needle nose pliers. I thought it was I thought it was pretty good.
I
Obviously,
thought it was good.
yeah.
But I have a bit of a qualm with Triple H and his every WrestleMania. He brings somebody back out of retirement, some big name. He has some stupid fucking crazy entrance and comes out and whoops this guy's ass.
Mm-hmm.
Because he runs the company.
Yeah, exactly. I could almost see him saying...
Almost every time I'm wanting the other guy to whoop his ass.
I could see him bringing Undertaker back just to beat him. You know what I mean? I want to be the number 2.
I want to beat Drax.
Well, I think that one made sense because it was kind of Batista's way out, and it was, it was a career for his career match. Gave Batista's way out, and Batista had never lost to Triple H, so I think it worked. It worked, and they were friends too. So, and they built up, I think, actually a decent storyline with the attack of Ric Flair. So I think it was probably one of the decent storylines going into the WrestleMania that I actually enjoyed. The one I didn't was the kind of a slap in the face to Kurt Angle, really, giving Baron Corbin. I don't know why they didn't give him John Cena or somebody else. Everyone would have much rather have seen John Cena than Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin actually put on a really good match, actually, I thought. But it is time for Kurt Angle to go. He just does not have it.
Baron Corbin's underrated. I think people were bitching too much about that. I think Baron Corbin is a fine opponent for him. Baron Corbin is a good guy. He's young. He's up and coming. And it is good for an old guy like Kurt Angle to put a guy like that over.
Yeah. No, I agree. But I'm just saying, if you have like a list of different people that Kurt Angle has fought throughout the years, you know what I mean? I don't think Baron Corbin's on anyone's list, let alone in the top 10 of people.
What would have been awesome is to have him just get fucked up like crazy by Brock Lesnar in his last match.
Oh, shit. And just having the "You Suck" chant at the end was good. Good. Too much. We're not going to see maybe come back to general manager. My kids love that "You Suck" chant. They just love it. It makes them laugh every fucking time, man. And we all.
It's a bad word.
Exactly. We get to say "suck." So the whole family is just chanting "You Suck." Good times. Good times. Sad to see Kurt Angle go, and you know what I mean. Very, very good wrestler, storied career. You know what I mean? Another dude who I thought really could have made it in MMA too if he didn't have so many bad injuries with his neck, especially and especially when it comes to wrestling, man. He entered wrestling with a bad neck, and that's a sport that many people have left and tried to come back due to neck injuries. And we're seeing a few dudes with Sheamus battling his neck injury, Paige recently with her neck injury, obviously Daniel Bryan coming back with his, Stone Cold, obviously Edge too. One of my favorite wrestlers too. Another dude just had to walk away. All neck injuries.
WWE is paving the way in science towards neck injury research.
Yes, we don't care about concussions, just neck injuries. But Daniel Bryan was one dude who said he would never wrestle again because of his neck injury, and now he actually came back due to rehabbing his neck. So that's one good thing. Maybe Edge comes back down the road. One last match, but I don't think so.
I think Daniel Bryan's taking it a bit easier these days too than he used to.
That's true, yeah, because you really throw himself around.
Yeah, he was pretty wild back in the day. Now he's still a really good wrestler, but he's kind of playing it a bit smarter, I'd say.
Yeah, that's for sure. Moving on. The Demon takes the Intercontinental title. And I hope we can see the end to that rivalry. Bobby Lashley, another MMA fighter as well, obviously got his start in wrestling as well. But I hope we can see the end of it. I like Bobby Lashley. I think he's got to form that power heel team, kind of wreck shop on dudes. I don't mind him battling up against Finn Balor. I just think they both aren't really gelling all that well. In the ring they are, but I think that's more Finn Balor than anything. And having obviously his little bit of a rivalry with Leo Rush, it is working a little bit. But I just kind of want to see. I want them to switch it up. Shuffle the deck up here. What happened to the shuffle? Maybe we'll see that shortly afterwards. I can't wait. The one thing I always love is the Raw and SmackDown after WrestleMania are always great matches, and there's still plenty of surprises that the WWE pulls out of their hat. Brings us.
I already saw a spoiler on Facebook.
Yeah, I stayed away. Brings us to the main event. The one Kelly missed. Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey. Charlotte Flair. Winner takes all. Woo! Well done.
Let's go, Charlotte Flair. Assume she won, right?
She totally did.
Nice.
No, Becky Lynch takes it in a controversial fashion too, winning it. Ronda took some hard bumps. Her leg was like chewed up though, Kelly. Her leg was really, and she had like a big kind of scrape up her thigh. Like that did not look nice. That scrape looked nasty. Like she.
I read something that said she severely broke her hand as well.
Really? Wow, I could believe it. No,
Ronda is a rough worker though, man.
Yeah.
She like throws everything into those moves, man.
She's really throwing leather into those punches. You know what I mean? I think the girls are obviously saying, "Go ahead and punch me to the gut." Obviously, don't punch me in the face like that. You know what I mean? But you can punch me in the gut like
those
that.
chicks all got like crazy abs. It doesn't.
Oh,
work.
of course, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Exactly, they're the two of the most strongest and fit women, if not in the whole world, but especially in the WWE. With Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair is just a freak athlete, super freak athlete.
In reality, even in an MMA match, Charlotte might take Ronda.
Oh, guaranteed.
She's a fucking freak-looking chick.
Guaranteed,
man.
and especially how I think that's got to be confidence for the other girls in the locker room at WWE. Ronda got tooled in her last 2 fights, like tooled, like double posterized.
Yeah.
Like she was look dumb.
Yeah.
She looked dumb.
Yeah, by Amanda Nunes though.
I know, but still, all it took was one punch.
She beat Cyborg.
All it took was
Holly
one.
Holmes very good too.
Obviously, I know. I'm just saying though, but
Holly Holmes was like 10 years. She was one of the best women's boxers.
I know, but I'm just saying, if you crack her in the face, you know what I mean, she's gonna think twice. You know what I mean? I'm saying we're all people. We're all women. We're all men.
Many of the girls in WWE could take Ronda.
No, I'm just saying a few could. A few.
I think maybe Charlotte and maybe like Tamina.
I think he's just saying that she doesn't look invincible.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Where I don't think women should be, the other women in the locker room should be intimidated when she's going around.
They should be intimidated by her, though a lot of them.
Some, well, yeah, like Zelina Vega, you know.
Like even some of the bigger ones should be intimidated by her. Like, Nia should probably be intimidated.
No,
by her.
I think Nia would take her.
You think so?
Yeah.
Nia is big, but
she's Samoan too.
She doesn't move that great.
Still.
Set up the match.
Exactly.
I'd watch it.
Oh, big time.
Cage match.
Big
I'd
time.
pay $39.99 to see them in bare knuckle fighting.
Wow. Yeah, I would
Actually,
too.
Nia would have the advantage in that because Ronda wouldn't be able to use her judo.
That's true. Yeah, exactly. Just boxing.
I just think with the judo though, Ronda would beat her.
I could see it. Yeah, I could see that. You know, you're meant to toss, bigger people. You know what I mean? And I think it would work out in her favor.
You get cut up in that bare knuckle boxing.
Oh man,
like some guys' gashes on their face, man. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, Nia's fists are actually like a big dude's fist.
Yeah, exactly. She's just got big hands, big everything.
There's gonna be some ugly looking people.
No, yeah, big time. I think as well. That's what I'm saying earlier. You know, the good thing these guys are getting paid because how many bare knuckle fights could you have?
Yeah, not many.
Yeah, like 5.
Not like the Lobov fight.
No, yeah, exactly. You can't go through the more wars like that.
See some guy with a record like what was that guy that used to train with the Militech camp? He had like 100 fights.
Oh yeah, Travis Fulton. Yeah.
No, there was another one I was thinking
Oh
of.
yes, Jeremy Horn.
Yeah, Jeremy Horn.
Jeremy Horn. Yeah.
He had so many fights.
Yeah.
Man.
He said he didn't even train. It's like he trained by fighting. And stuff
Yeah.
like that at one point.
Because he was fighting so much. He's fighting like 5 times a month or
Yeah.
something. He had no time to train.
Controversial finish though to the end though with Becky kind of going for like a kind of a rollover pin on Ronda and her shoulder got up, but the ref didn't see it and counted the 1, 2, 3. Even though her shoulder did get up and got put back down, and she instantly protested, but to no avail. And I think what is going to happen here is we're going to see that's going to be Ronda's exit, is that she's upset with the company. What are you going to say, Kelly?
Still counts.
Still counts, yeah, exactly. It still counts. Like getting nut-shotted, you know what I mean, in WWE, it still counts. But I think this is going to be your exit. Mark my words, this is going to be your exit. She's going to be upset with, she's going to say, do some fake lawsuit thing and then eventually leave because she never lost. You know what I mean? She never lost.
Seth Rollins went all Nakamura.
Yeah, Seth Rollins went all Nakamura too, yeah. It almost looked like Brock jumped a little early on that nut shot, and he kind of got it. He kind of got nut shot.
Accidentally on purpose.
Exactly.
I like getting punched in the nuts.
It was a great match, but like I said, man, that come the end, it was tough to stay a bit focused on that last fight, man. But it was a really, really good match. The women steal the show again. But you know what I mean? Great WrestleMania. I was thoroughly impressed. But
I think the women generally steal the show a lot lately. But tonight, WrestleMania night, I don't think they really did. I would say there was a lot bigger spots on that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and that's what my next question is. I gotta ask you first, Morgan. What was your shining star? You gotta put a star on it. Best moment of WrestleMania, whether it be a match or a segment.
I got 2.
Okay, go. Yeah, that's cool.
Miz versus Shane O'Mac.
Yeah.
And the Dr. Thugonomics.
Oh my God.
Those were my 2.
Not even Kofi winning?
Kofi winning was awesome, but those were my favorite spots for me.
Wow.
Like,
Really?
I like Kofi's win, and I like him winning.
Yep.
But I honestly think the match could have been a bit better.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I totally give it like a 4-star. It had the makings of a 5-star, but there was a few botches in there. There was a few botches that normally Kofi doesn't do, but obviously WrestleMania, you're going for the belt. You know what I mean? You obviously know in the back of your mind you're going to win. You know what I mean? But that's got to bring some cobwebs into your stomach, you know what I mean, or some butterflies that, you know what I mean, got to make sure every move is perfect, you know, and something's going to slip through. What do you think, Kelly, from what you missed the main event, but still, what do you think? What was your shining moment? Something you thought, like, this is kind of fun, actually.
Well, I don't really know any of the backstories or anything. So, other than that, I like seeing Brock Lesnar. Kind of surprised me, him coming out right away, having a match.
Yeah.
So, I'll just,
And they brought it. No, that's a good choice, man. I like that, too. Actually, I really like that first match. It really set the pace, you know what I mean? Kind of a rock'em sock'em start to it. And I actually enjoyed that match, too.
Shocked Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, I know. He did shock Hulk Hogan. I know.
Apparently, they didn't tell him that was going to happen.
Wow. Hulkster in his old age, he got spooked. He spooks easily now. What? Where's my vitamins? I didn't say my prayers.
Who's wrestling, brother?
My highlight, though, I'm going to give it to... I was going to say the women's tag match, but it also had a few botches in there as well. I'm going to give it to the men fatal 4-way. That was really, really good. I think it really was going to steal the show, and I think it did. Honorable mention to Kofi Kingston and the new Daniel Bryan going down like they did.
The men's fatal 4-way?
Yeah, the tag team. Yeah, the tag team. Yeah. I really like that one. I always love when everyone's doing their finisher to each other in the end. I just eat that shit up.
It was a good match, but
yeah.
It didn't really...
Well, it's Ricochet. You know what I mean? Like when they had like that huge tower, that huge suplex tower, and Ricochet landed on his feet. Like it's Ricochet. That guy is insane. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. But
I like all those teams. I thought it was probably like the best match.
Yeah.
Like pure wrestling.
Mm-hmm. And like I said, the part where Cesaro's spinning him and Sheamus is pounding on his chest. I thought, man, I don't think they've ever done that before with the two moves together. But I think my B highlight, my 1A, my 1B would be it was on the pre-show. Revival losing to the worst tag team possibly of all time, giving Kurt Hawkins a win. Kurt Hawkins is 1 in like 267 because of the Revival, and that'll be a stain that no amount of cleaning, no amount of hot water will ever get out. Morgan?
I don't know how you could wish ill on the guy that knocked out the dude who attacked Bret Hart.
Everyone was getting a shot in there.
He came in and dropped him.
Everyone was getting a shot in there.
Yeah, even Travis Brown.
Yeah.
Man. How long till he comes out dressed as a Viking?
The Hawaiian Viking, Travis Brown. Oh, shit. Still.
Back when Leif Erikson took over Maui.
He sailed so far and bedded a Maori woman.
I bed thee, Maori.
That's hilarious.
Wench.
Either that or you could be like Rowdy Brown.
Rowdy Brown.
Big Rowdy Brown.
I think that'd be the best name ever. Big Rowdy Brown.
Big Rowdy
I had that after I went to Taco Bell.
Oh, shit.
Oh my gilly golly, Miss Molly. Kelly, you are hilarious. You are hilarious. But yeah, that's a worse gimmick to come out like as your wife's kind of guy. You know what I mean? That never goes over well. I'm not saying you can't come out and be man can't be a valet to a woman. I'm just saying it never goes over well for the dude. Like career wise. They
can, but it's fucking stupid.
Exactly. It's not a good move career-wise. I'm talking about here.
I got another one. Travis the Conor McGregor Brown.
Whoa, yeah, I love it. Everybody is the Conor McGregor
theme on this show.
The Hawaiian Conor McGregor.
You want that so when you Google, it just pop up Conor McGregor.
All these different people with the Conor McGregor. We're now called the Conor McGregor and New Podcast.
Sponsored by Conor McGregor Water. Proper H2O.
You got 10 million more subscribers next
Yeah,
day.
Exactly. And I have to be controversial, like.
I was trying to find fucking Conor. What is this bullshit?
Which I heard he actually is in more hot water. Actually, he's actually being questioned about not cold cocking a dude in a club too. So
he thrives in hot water.
Whew, I don't know, man. Like I said last show, we're gonna see how much money he really has with all these court cases. They're adding up. He settled outside of court with the guy with the cell phone. I'm sure the guy went away for piss water to him. But still, I can guarantee it was $250,000 at least is what that guy got. He could have went to court and really dragged that fucking thing out.
Yeah, but to think of the extra money that fucking bad publicity earns him. It's more.
Like I said,
I guarantee it's profitable.
It's a tipping scale, man.
This is a world.
It's only a amount of time.
We live in a world right now where the shittier you act and the stupider shit you do, the more famous and more money you're gonna get out of it.
I don't know, man.
Kardashians and shit are perfect examples.
I know, but they're not going around committing crimes.
Oh, Rap Game's a perfect example.
I know, but those dudes end up
like Tekashi 99 or whatever. That guy's
I know,
fucking loaded.
But he was going to go to prison for a real long time too. Yeah. He was facing way more serious charges.
But that's the thing, and that even accumulates his popularity even more.
Yeah, I think, but on the flip side of that, I think Conor McGregor didn't make his money being a dick. You know what I mean? He was actually a really good fighter. He was actually a really good fighter though too. But he
goaded Mayweather into a fight with racist comments.
I know, but I'm just saying before that.
And that's when he made his money.
He would have never been in that position if he wasn't a good fighter and had a mouth. You know what I mean?
Oh, he's a good fighter. No one's saying he's not.
I think because I think he was kind of humble in his first few fights. He was pretty humble. What were you gonna say, Kelly?
Oh, I don't know. I just think his craziness sells the fights. Like,
yeah,
you can be a great fighter and not sell tickets.
Yeah, of course, of course.
At all.
Yeah,
like he's great. But there's much greater fighters. But him going out and doing stupid shit is making him much more popular and having way more people tune in than these guys that are much better than him but don't do stupid shit.
It's kind of like the same thing that runs his mouth, runs his whole, lifestyle. The craziness.
Yep, it's true. Yeah. He's living a lifestyle, exactly. But like I said, man, there's a point, where those scales get tipped too far the one way and you go overboard, and then that's it. You get too many crimes. All these rappers, you know what I mean, they're getting shot.
Oh, but
you know what I mean?
Look at Dr. Dre. He's still super rich.
Still.
He came out. Was he really any better than Run DMC? No.
Still.
But he was talking about killing people and shit and doing stupid stuff.
I don't know if anyone believed him though. They believed Ice Cube.
People did at a time though.
They believed Ice Cube. For sure. Still, the DRE. But I just, like I said, man, there's going to be a point where his money's not going to be able to catch up with all these court cases, all this shit. Something bad's going to happen. Some random fan's going to attack him looking for money, and he's going to get in trouble. Something bad's going to happen.
Hey, one thing I wanted to bring up about WrestleMania that pissed me off, I remember, when they brought out all the Hall of Famers. Right? And they announced all of them, and they just, put a spotlight on this guy, put a spotlight on this guy, and they're all standing in a line.
Yeah.
And then the DX music comes on.
Dan, 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 dan.
And then DX comes running around all the other ones that are standing there that didn't get their intro music or anything with glow sticks, acting like a bunch of fucking 50-year-old retards.
Yeah, I didn't like that too.
That was the stupidest shit.
Especially Shawn Michaels. You know what I mean? He just seemed like
they look like a bunch of tools.
Yeah, he did. Shawn Michaels
it seemed
especially.
disrespectful to the other Hall of Famers. It's like, yeah, this guy runs the company, so his team they got inducted gets their theme music, and they run around everybody with glow sticks acting like fucktards.
Well, I didn't know that they were. I guess it makes sense for them to be the main attraction. You know, they do that for the main attraction.
I don't see why they're the main attraction.
I know. I didn't think that too until it was the end. I didn't think that they were the main one.
Think Heart Foundation, maybe.
For some weird reason, I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was because they usually use that as the last announcement. I thought Brutus the Barber Beefcake was the main inductee. I'm like,
why Brutus?
Yeah, I know. I don't know because he was like the last guy to be announced. So I thought that this is the big grand finale. Brutus the fucking Zodiac, fucking
I don't mind
Brutai.
I don't think he was like the biggest inductee.
No, not at all. That's why I was like. That's why I was weirded out about it.
The Heart Foundation.
Tori Wilson was a good one too. Obviously.
Wow, she's like better looking now than she was 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's for sure. No doubt about that. And obviously the dude attacking Bret Hart at the ceremony too is a total knob move, and
I'm glad he got his ass.
He'll be blacklisted from any wrestling event this side of the Mississippi.
Davey Boy Smith Jr. was feeding it to him.
Exactly. Everyone got a shot in.
You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
Exactly. Punches. Oh shit.
El stupido.
You been playing anything other than Apex, Kelly, or is Apexing it up?
No, just Apex.
Nice.
People have been asking me to download different games, but no. I play one game at a
Wow.
time, religiously. I don't know.
Bar none. The most faithful gamer on this side of the planet.
And it used to be Call of Duty and GTA, like those two games forever. But mostly Call of Duty. But now, yeah, Apex.
Yeah, like you've always likened it to Call of Duty a little bit, like old school, like Modern Warfare 2, which I think was one of the better ones myself too. Yeah. It was good to.
I played a lot of Modern Warfare.
Yeah, I think we all did. Yeah,
so
we really all did.
Mix of that and Titanfall.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, with how your guys are running and the little special things they get. Yeah, I really enjoy the game too. I just, like I said, been well documented. I just really suck at the game. That's my biggest problem. But I still play it. I actually really enjoy it when I play. But I actually downloaded Final Fantasy VII. It was not on sale, unfortunately. $21 for a game from 1997.
It's crazy. I have the disc on PlayStation 4.
Yeah. Really brought back a lot of memories, man, playing that game. Whew, it was crazy. It really flooded me with memories. I had not, honest to God, I had not played the game since I played it back in 97. I never picked it up again. And here I'm playing it again, and just the memories that are flooding back. It's just super surreal. Such a good game. They've obviously upped the graphics. The one thing I wish they would have done was done like a save state. You see a lot on a lot of these retro games where I could save anytime I want. You know what I mean? But in true Final Fantasy fashion, I can only save at the save points, which is a bit of a kick in the pants. But I like the retro style. They did add a few cheats you can use if you click your analogs, both your joysticks in. One is like so you have your limit breaker all the time, and then the other one is you're just super fast. Your attack speed goes 3 times fast. I don't like to play with it, obviously. I'm playing the beginning of it. It's fun. It's not challenging at all. Getting used to the game again. In my opinion, I've played a lot of Final Fantasies after it. It is the best Final Fantasy, bar none. Hit us up on Twitter if you don't think otherwise. What was your favorite Final Fantasy? A lot of people I know loved 8. A lot of people I know loved 10. Even the most recent one, I played them. I just didn't really like them that much. This one was a perfect balance of simple and hard, and the amount of the characters you have in it are great. I can't wait to barely scratch the surface on it. I haven't had as much time as I'd like to play on it. Barely scratched the surface on it, but I can't wait to say more about it and report more on it.
I have the greatest hits version. I never found the black label.
Whew. That's a collector's item now, man.
Too much money. The black label, if you buy it off like eBay.
Wow. I wonder what that one's going for.
A lot.
Really? The greatest hits one?
No. The greatest hit, so you can still probably find it for like under 25 bucks.
Right.
But the black label, man, that's like just over $100 maybe.
Crazy.
For like a okay copy.
There's a lot of games out there I was noticing on this eBay thing, all these crazy ass prices of like, games still in the package, shit like that, going for like thousands of dollars, crap like that.
I should have just been buying games and keeping them in the package back then.
I know. What were you doing playing them as a kid? How could you, Morgan?
I have like all the old GTAs too for PlayStation 1.
Nice.
Like the greatest hit editions and everything.
You can find the odd gem that's actually worth a lot is a retro game.
I had like a collection of consoles and stuff back in the day, and my house got robbed, and they took all of them.
Oh no,
I had,
shitty.
like, every console you could think of from back in the day.
Shitty.
Even, like the Jaguar and stuff.
Oh, that sucks. Son of a bitch. Anything you want to bring up, Kelly? Anything about your environmental cause you want to talk about?
Yeah, buy a scooter, save money on gas, and you don't burn as much, and it's great.
Yeah, there you go.
Not like one of those mobility scooters. I'm talking about like 49cc, like street legal scooter. That's what I'm talking about. I just call it a bike. There you go.
That's a rascal.
He's got a mobility rascal, and it's got a big sign that says "Praise Jesus."
BC labels it as a limited speed motorcycle.
You're all going to hell. That's just a big sign just saying you're all going to hell. Repent now, sinners. What about you, Morgan? Anything you want to talk about, man? Anything you got on your chest?
I'm pretty good, man.
Yeah, I think we covered everything. Long show already. Whoa!
Mania out of our system.
Yeah, it's good to see Mania pass. We got
Kofi Mania. Long live Kofi.
Oh, and Money in the Bank coming up. That's a really good. I always love Money in the Bank. That's a great event too. I'm really excited for that. Hopefully, we see the Superstar shakeup. UFC this weekend as well. Going down. Excited for all this shit. Well, folks, that just about wraps it up. Gonna go grab myself a nice big water. And for co-host Morgan, co-host and producer extraordinaire Kelly, my name is Steven, and you've been listening to the New Podcast. Signing off.
Peace.